Hi all, my name is Cassie Castrejon. I will be leading you through my journey of creating a vocabulary app prototype. So let's start with meeting my lovely persona Quinn. They are 31 and call the San Francisco Bay Area home, where they live with their fur baby and partner. Quinn works with young adults and kids at an outdoor education program and does freelance photography. Quinn enjoys getting out into the natural world. They like to go biking, do yoga, and go hiking in all the amazing trails that surround their home. So with that, let's continue making our way through my prototyping process by adventuring through one of Quinn's favorite trails, the Strawberry Canyon Loop, which happens to be in the Berkeley Hills with nearly a 1,100-foot elevation gain over the first 2 miles. This hike includes continually elevated views of the Bay Area, the Berkeley Hills, steep meadows, eucalyptus forests, and evergreen tree patches. Assuming that you're like Quinn, that you like to get the challenge done with first and hit the hills. Let's go counterclockwise on this loop, starting from the green dot, marking the starting point on the map, up to the light blue triangle marking the top of Chaparral Peak. So, Quinn's problem statement is that Quinn wants an easy means to learn and remember new vocabulary because they want to feel empowered by the conversations they have with others. They want to feel like they do at the top of Chaparral Peak, all 1,764 feet, strong, empowered, and a part of. So the vocabulary app brief in a nutshell includes empowering people to learn new vocabulary, ages 25 to 50, people who find themselves just getting out of school or are still in the midst of being in school as an adult. The vocabulary app is meant to be used on the go for quick review sessions, 5 to 10 minutes long. The app is also meant to be a space where users can organize personally created vocabulary cards, community vocabulary cards, as well as saving and attaching contextual events to learn vocabulary. By contextual events, I mean current or historical events and images that people can use to deepen their understanding for new vocabulary. While doing initial user interviews, I found that most of the people I talked to wanted context, not just words to memorize. So, Quinn's struggles include how in social settings with people from all races and creeds, I fear indirectly hurting others with my words. I want to confidently engage in challenging conversations, and I would like there to be one place I can look up how my words relate to the real world. Give my words context. So, the climb to Chaparral Peak begins with initial 685 wireframing. At this point in the hike, we are about a mile in at 1,180 feet, at the first small plateau that overlooks the San Francisco Bay. The process of generating 6 to 8 drawings in the multiple 5-minute rounds was eye-opening, where I have included, and here, I have also included some of the raw frames that came out of that brainstorming process. Out of this process, I was able to sequence the pages I wanted for my prototype. So the climb continues. At mile 1 1/4, we are at an elevation of 1,280 feet, with an even more spectacular view of the bay. The historic red San Francisco Bridge off in the distance with a light breeze running by your face. So through the prototyping process and testing, here I have my more refined prototype frames. I wanted to include frames to accomplish 2 main tasks. Task 1 included creating a profile, running through the tutorial, and creating a new vocabulary card. Task 2 included adding a contextual event, as in a local current event, to a previously created vocabulary card. So let's keep climbing with some early prototyping. Early prototypes were missing some simple ingredients, such as a back button on each page, and simple yet direct button phrases. If more short user interviews were done to take input on button phrases as well as more competitive analyses, then the user flow through the app would be much smoother. So now we are approaching Chaparral Peak with my highlights from my usability testing. And at about 2 miles into the hike, we are at an elevation of 1,700 feet, with the peak nowhere in sight as we dive into a heavily wooded patch. Here, using Jacob Nielsen's error severity rating scale, where 0 means I do not agree that this is a usability issue, up through 4 being that this is a usability catastrophe, which is imperative to fix before the product is released. The issues that came up, such as confusion with the phrase contextual events and other button phrases, fall into the category of low priority fixes. Issues that rated as a 3, major usability issues, included allowing the user to give permission to have their created cards show up in the community card searches. Then, issues that landed in the 4 rating included simple things such as a back button and action indicators, as in the tutorial, and users needed me to tell them to swipe, in such case without indicators. So we got to the top of Chaparral Peak. We finally made it to an elevation of 1,764 feet, surrounded by eucalyptus trees. The smell at the top is beyond amazing, one that can never be captured by human means. What I have learned along the way through this project is that keeping action phrases simple is of utmost importance to help keep user flow through an app continuous. Through the brainstorming period, it is better to generate a lot of ideas in a short period of time instead of just a few. And user input along various phases of a project are imperative for the sake of retention and app usage. So down the trail we go as I reflect on the process. For future projects, some pros include interviewing diverse user populations, and note cards and post-its are wonderful friends along the way. Cons include to expect that things will not go as planned, as with timeliness in user interviews, and it is important to not hold off on completing a task out of fear of not completing something perfectly the first time, or fear out of feedback I may receive. The things I enjoyed along the way were learning new tools, as well as reading relevant books such as Steal Like an Artist and Don't Make Me Think. The things I did not enjoy were initially the 685 wireframing, because I do not do well with time constraints like that. I do appreciate the ideas that came out of that type of idea generation. And in closing, life is about enjoying the journey, and I look forward to the tools and skills I gather through the remainder of this program.